Since the update Aquatic was initially announced and snapshots started showing up, players have been utilizing and messing around with the Magma Block's brand new water physics. What some players don't realize, however, is that Soul Sand also affects water in new and interesting ways, and in very similar ways to the Magma Block. Using these two blocks together with each other makes many new contraptions possible and more simple than ever in Minecraft. In this video, we're going to be talking about how awesome and exciting these brand new features really are and checking some of them out. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So first things first, how do these blocks even work? Well, currently, magma blocks pull items, mobs, entities, and players downward with a stream of bubbles known as a downwards bubble column. Soul Sand does the exact opposite, however, pushing items, mobs, entities, and players upwards with a stream of bubbles known as an upwards bubble column. Right now, each of these water columns must have at least one empty space next to the column as high as you want the column to go. If you want the column to only go up 10 blocks tall, you need 10 empty water sources next to the column. Placing a block on the 10th spot will make the pushing or pulling effect stop or end right there. On some occasions, the height of the column won't change back if the block that interrupted the stream initially was destroyed. Seems like it's a bug. To fix the height, simply destroy the magma or soul sand block and place it once again. Also, these blocks' bubble columns can't be directly near one another. The game will automatically decide which block should or should not become a column. This can be changed by the player through breaking and replacing the blocks, but can be a bit of a pain if you're creating massive areas of them. A word of advice would be to use a checkered pattern with non-magma or soul sand blocks so the game can't change your desired layout of magma or soul sand blocks. It should also be noted that the magma block can kill you. You have to put up a pretty serious fight to resist the magma flow as it pulls you downwards and harms you when you touch it. But when building with these blocks, you should also have a safe place to swim for air, or just use creative mode when building with them. Either way, you should have a backup plan if you're building underwater. The first example of a build that I'd like to show you is a little bit obvious of an idea. With the addition of Soul Sand's ability to create an upwards bubble column, players can officially create elevators. The nice thing about these elevators is that rather than using a load of resources, all you need is a 1x2 block wide tube, water, and a place for the Soul Sand, and that's seriously it. The best thing about this, there's no worry of drowning. Because of the way these bubble columns work, players will gain back their breath as they stand in the bubbles, meaning that even if your tube goes from the ground to the height limit, there's no risk of death in the water while you're in one of these bubble columns. If you fall out of the bubbles, just hurry back and gain your breath. Seriously, there's almost no risk. The smaller the tube, the less places that you have to go. While this next type of elevator is a little more derpy, boat elevators can also be made in Minecraft again. There's no perfect way to create these elevators currently that I'm aware of, but it should be noted that they do get affected by the bubble columns, both upwards and downwards. Something pretty funny about the way that boats will react to the upwards bubble columns is that they will fly out of the water super high when a player isn't sitting in it. While this currently seems like a glitch, it's still pretty funny to note. Sometimes when using the boat elevator, your character will fly out of the boat. It's definitely something that can work, but it'll need a little bit of refining depending on the layout that you're going for. Just keep messing with it and you'll certainly get it up and running. The next super cool potential from this update comes in the form of an item transferring system. The great thing about this system is that both magma blocks and soul sand can be used in this build. While it's definitely better to use soul sand, magma blocks can still work wonders. Right now, items float in the water in Minecraft. Using soul sand will allow for blocks to get pushed upwards in a tube more quickly. This officially means that we will no longer need to create these massive redstone contraptions to push items upwards and into place. It also means that we can simply use water and soul sand, rather than creating tubes filled with blocks to quote-unquote magically push items upwards. The only major downside to the system is that pulling items downward is now a bit of a pain. Yes, you can make drop-off so that items will just fall, but you can also use magma blocks to pull items downwards. The only downside to this method is that sometimes items get trapped on the magma block and will just stay there unless a player interacts and forces the items to move. Ultimately, this could be fixed with the use of a piston or some kind of potential hopper system. Using the piston to push and pull a block to move the items away is completely possible, but drop-offs seem to be the best bet right now. We can currently make drop-offs with signs stopping the flow of water, but as Mojang continues to tweak how water reacts with certain blocks, this may eventually be changed. This new system also potentially rids the need for massive amounts of hoppers to get from point A to point B, and ultimately just looks a little bit cooler with the way that items move around. Right now, the update Aquatic seems like it could really change the way that we create sorting systems in Minecraft. And finally, a really interesting way to kill some mobs, or even some players if you get lucky. Because of the way that magma reacts to water, any mobs that enter the water will get caught in the bubble column and get pulled downwards. When they reach the bottom, they'll begin to get dealt damage from touching the magma blocks. Undoubtedly, this will become a major part of many mob grinders. However, it could just be used to trap and kill your friends if you really wanted to. Who's to say that you need a moat of lava when you could just have a moat of magma blocks with water on top of them? If you place them all at the bottom of a little moat surrounding your house, mobs and players will certainly find some death, or at the very least, once in a while, they'll wind up dying and getting trapped by your magma moat. Needless to say, these blocks will have a lot of good and evil uses. So what do you think? Do you think that these blocks and their new features will make a good addition to the update Aquatic? What are you thinking about building with these? And what are some ideas that you've been having? Let me know in the comment section down below. But other than that, that just about does it for me for now. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like on it, because it would really help out myself and Michael McChill, who co-wrote and edited this video, the channel, and the video quite a lot. But anyways guys, I hope you all enjoyed. My name is AntVenom, and I bid you all farewell. Thanks so much for watching.